Project Tutorial 14 OTP-based lock. In this project, we will learn how to make an OTP-based security lock, which we can use in our doors, our vehicles like our bikes, scooters, and in our cars. So, first of all, we have to know how this system works. So that's why I will show you an animated video to just give you an idea that how this system works. After watching that animated video, you can have an idea how this system actually works. So moving on, you are watching Tronics Technical Project with Sushil Yadav.
Hello friends. Here we will play a scenario in which we forget our room keys. Many times we forget our door keys, and it wastes lots of time to search it. And in worst case, go back and grab it from the place from which we had left our keys. So, the solution for that problem is password-based door locks. But not just only password-based lock, because anybody can know your password and open your home door. So to increase the security, we can add another security feature, which is OTP-based password lock. This system add a more secure security feature to protect and secure our home. After entering the right password, system will send a OP to your cell phone. After entering the right OP, system will send a signal to motor, which will rotate and open up the door.
So now you have watched that animated video, and now I'm pretty sure that you will have a general idea how this system actually work in real life. So in this tutorial I will teach you how to make the electronics of this system, how the electronics of this system work. So moving on, we will gather all the components required for our project. So moving on, first of all, the basic need is our power supply. So we have to use a 12 volt 5 ampere power supply. 5 ampere because there are lots of components here which will consume a lots of currents. That's why we have to need an 5 ampere. You can also use minimum to minimum 3 ampere power supply. If you want, you can also use an adapter. So our second component is a buck converter. I always use buck converter because buck converter is the best regulator. It draw maximum up to 3 ampere, and it is also reverse polarity protection and can bear a maximum heat. That's why it is a best voltage regulator. Moving on, we need a power supply, power cable. These are the, always remember the positive and negative side of buck converter. Always connect the output of power supply to the input of buck converter, and always before connecting the buck converter to Arduino, always regulate that potentiometer and make the output to up to 5 volt, because because Arduino Uno board works on 5 volt. It can take up to 12 volt, but you have to give it 5 volt for a safety purpose. Okay, moving on, we need an Arduino Uno board, and for entering our password we need a 3x3 keypad. Okay, moving on, these are the points which we have to connect to our Arduino Uno. R1, R2, R3, R4 means row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and C1, C2, C3 means column 1, column 2, column 3. You have to connect these points in A5, A4, A3 and A2 of Arduino, and C1, C2, C3 with A1, A8 and 9 of Arduino. Okay, moving on. We need a 16:2 LCD display so that we can see what is happening in our system. Okay, to send a SMS we need an SIM 800L GSM module. It is a very small very small GSM SMS sending module in which micro SIM is mini SIM is used. Okay, moving on. We need an L293D motor driver IC. You can also use L298 motor driver IC. We need an DC gear motor 60 RPM. So moving on, just connect the power cable with neutral, line and neutral of SMPS. Okay, moving on. These are line and neutral, as you can see that line and neutral. Okay, connect the positive of SMPS with the positive of input of buck converter and negative of SMPS with the negative input of buck converter. Moving on. Now the point here, you just carefully see that the output positive, you have to connect the output positive with the V negative. As I am zooming in, V input positive, output positive of buck converter with the V input of Arduino Uno board, and the output negative of buck converter with the ground of Arduino Uno board. Okay, after that, always regulate the potentiometer to 5 volt. This is potentiometer. This blue color chip here is potentiometer. Okay, moving on. Now connect these points with Arduino. A5 with A5 of Arduino Uno board, and likewise connect all the connections. In Arduino Uno board. Okay, moving on. Okay, so first R1, R2, R3, R4 with A5, A4, A3 and A2, and after that C1, C2, C3 with A1, 8 and 9. We have connected A1. Now we have to connect 9 with 9. 9 with 9 and pin 8 with 8. Okay, pin 8 means C2 with 8. You can for general understanding, you can understand that you have to connect it according to the first pin, second pin, third pin, like that. Okay, moving on. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to connect the positive output of buck converter with the VCC of SIM 800L. VCC of SIM 800, it works on 5 volt. Okay, remember, it works on 5 volt. That's why we have connected the output of buck converter with the VCC of SIM 800L. After that, connect the ground of SIM 800 with the output negative of buck converter. This point, we have just left this point because we have to connect this point with our LCD module. Okay, so moving on, connect the LCD module as in this wiring diagram. Pin 1st, 3rd and 5th with ground pin or ground wire. Okay, moving on. Pin number, last pin is LED negative, so which we have to connect the last pin with ground pin or ground wire. Okay, moving on. This second pin VCC, we have to connect it with positive 5 volt. Okay, and for powering up the LED of LCD module, we have to connect that pin, this LED positive, with 5 volt. Okay, moving on. Now connect the connections according to this wiring. Okay, what we have connected here, the first, second, third and fourth. The fourth pin, RS pin, connected with the pin number 12 of Arduino Uno. Okay, moving on. After that, we have connected pin number first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth pin of LCD module with pin number 11. Okay, moving on. Now connect the pin number 2 of Arduino Uno with D7, or you can say that last third pin. Okay. After that, connect pin number 3 of Arduino Uno with D6. Or you can also say that first, second, third and fourth from the last. Okay, and likewise connect pin number 4 of Arduino Uno with first, second, third, fourth, fifth from the last point. Okay, after that connect the transmitter point of SIM800 GSM module with pin number 6 and the receiver of SIM800L with pin number 7. Okay, as you can see that it is connected with receiver. Okay, moving on. Now we will connect our L293D module, our L293D IC. How we have to connect? Connect the last 2 point. Connect the last 2 point with each other, last 2 pins. Okay, just see it clearly. Again, after that, the first 2 pins, first and last pin, connect the first and last pin. Okay, after that connect those 2 pins, connect the first pin and pin number 14, pin number 8, because 1 2 3 4 5, pin number 9, because it's in okay. Just connect the pin number first with the last pin. Enable pin 3 and 4. Okay, after that, moving on, connect these 2 ground pin, or you can say that first, second, third and fourth and fifth pin with each other, and likewise connect (12) and 13 pin with each other. Okay, so this is 12 and 13 pin and this is 4 and 5th pin. Moving on, connect that 4th pin, 4 and 5th pin, and 9 10 11 12 and 13 pin with each other. After that, what you have to do, connect this pin, the first and last pin connected, connect it with, you have to remember that connect this first and last connection with the input positive of buck converter, or you can say that directly connect it with the positive 12 volt of SMPS or adapter, because our L293D module takes 12 volt to drive a motor. Okay, moving on, connect the middle pin, the middle connected wires, pin number 4 and 5 with ground of SMPS or ground of our system. You can say that ground of your adapter. Okay, moving on, you have to connect pin number 3. We can say that pin number 3, or you can also say that from other side that it is pin 1, it is pin number 1 2 3 4, so we can say that it is 8 and 8 16, so that means 15, it's 14, pin number 14, connect the 1 pin of motor with pin number 14. Okay, and after that is 13, 12 and it's 11, connect the other point of motor with pin number 11. Okay, moving on, this pin is for signal pin, as I will show you, I will zoom you. Input 4 and input 3 are the signal pin. That means whenever we will give signal to the input 4, it will move clockwise, and whenever we will give signal to the input 3, it will move anti-clockwise. So that's the working of this input 4 and input 3 pins. Okay, so moving on, now we have completed all the circuit connections. Now we will see how our circuit will really work or work in a hardware manner. Okay, moving on, we need an push switch, because when our password and OTPs we have entered is okay and is corrected or correct, when we will enter correct OTP, then what will happen, motor will move for a given time, and after that it will open the gate. But to again close the gate, we have to push a manual switch, this switch, so that it will again close the gate. Okay, so for that we have to connect one pin of this switch pin, one electrode or one pin of this push switch with positive 5 volt, and the other pin connected with the input 3. As I have told you earlier that input 3 is for moving it anti-clockwise. Okay, so now we will see what will happen when all the connections are correct, and we will upload our program in our Arduino board. You can download this program from the link below of this video. From there you can download the program. Okay, moving on, first of all, when you will upload a program and connect all the wirings correctly, it will ask for enter password. So you will enter password. So first of all we will enter wrong password. See what will happen. So it will say that password not matched, try again. So it will always say that password not matched, try again, until we enter correct password. So now we will enter correct password. It will say enter password. We will enter correct password 2, 3, 5 and 7. So what will happen? It will say password matched. Okay, this is the first stage of security. Moving on, what will it say? It will say sending OTP. It means whenever our password is correct, it is matched, so it will send an OTP through this GSM module to our given mobile number. Always remember that in this Arduino program you can change the mobile number. You can use your mobile number so that it will send an OTP to your given mobile number. Okay, your given SIM number. Sorry. Moving on, after sending an OTP, it will tell you enter your OTP. So we will enter a wrong OTP. It will always send a 4-digit random number. It will always a different number. It will not same number. So it will always send 4-digit random numbers. So here we have entered wrong numbers. So what it will say? It will say OTP not matched. So try again. It will say that until we will enter correct OTP. So when we will enter, it will again say enter OTP. When we will enter correct OTP, so what will happen? It will say that OTP matched and gate open. So what will happen when gate open? So as you can see that here in the downside, the motor will move for a certain time, for a duration, in a clockwise manner, so that it will open the gate. Okay, so by this method our whole system work. Now I will show you the hardware working of this system. Okay, so let's see the hardware working of this system. So now we will see how the real hardware of our system work. This is the Arduino program which I have made, and this is the hardware which we have used. You can see that keypad, LCD screen, Arduino Uno board and GSM module, and the power supply module, or you can say that adapter. So the system is start now. What we will do? So this is the Arduino programming which I have used. You can download that programming from the given link below. You can download from the I have given a link in the downside. You can download the program from there. So right now what I will do, I will write what is the password. The real password is 2357. I will enter a wrong password first to see whether it will work or not. So let's enter a wrong password. As you can see that it's asking enter password. I am entering wrong password. You can see from the keypad I am pressing and nothing happened. It will again say enter password. Now again I am pressing a wrong password. Say try again. Now I will enter and right password 2357. I will enter right password 2, 3, 5 and 7. Now it is said, sorry, now I will enter right password 2357. Now it says password matched and sending an OTP. It is sending an OTP to my given mobile number, cell number. Now I will wait. So I will receive an OTP. Okay, I have received a message, an OTP. Let's see what is our OTP. So I will zoom it. It's little bit blur. You can see that OTP for keypad lock. I will open it. Okay, so OTP is 274. It will always send 4-digit random codes. 274 means 4 digit is 0. Okay, so whenever I will put 274, it will activate the system. So I will now going to put OTP, correct OTP. So let's see what happened when I will put correct OTP to our system. You can see that the DVD box automatically opens. Here you can see that by the sound it's open, and other switch is for again moving our system to back to the normal. As you can see that it's